I realized I wouldn't awaken in my comfort zone, so I had to do something that took me out of the comfort zone, which was learn to be aware of my breathing. I had to learn to hold the frequency of presence or ease or peace, if you will. Human beings do not awaken while they're in their comfort zone. It usually takes for life to push you to some sort of awakening process through hardship, losing a loved one, something extraordinary happening, and then the person in that continuous negative state may, at that point, realize that they can't live with themselves anymore. And at that state, or that stage, that is when most people begin to awaken, unfortunately. Instead of just asking yourself questions, contemplating, observing your thought process, seeing that the reactive mind is ultimately not who you are. It's the reactive mind using you, so to speak. The mind can be used. The mind can also be, or the mind can also use you. So even myself, I didn't necessarily have to be pushed to a extreme measure or extreme circumstance to where I realized I couldn't live with myself anymore. So I would say I was a little lucky. Of course, I did have the continuous stream of negative thinking, the resistance when situations wouldn't go how they supposedly should, reactivity to situations, to challenges. But as I continued to contemplate these situations, observe how other people handle situations, contemplated and asked myself questions like, the next time that happens or anything that comes up as a challenge, how can I handle it? Well, I like to handle it through anxiety, frustration. The answer was always no. I would like to handle it as easily as possible. So I realized I wouldn't awaken in my comfort zone, so I had to do something that took me out of the comfort zone, which was learn to be aware of my breathing, especially during conflicting moments, so to speak, especially during another human being walks up to you and has something to say and they're very anxious and pulled along by their reactivity, have not contemplated or anything yet, very reactive. I had to learn to hold the frequency of presence or ease or peace, if you will. But for most human beings, that is almost impossible while you're in your comfort zone, because your comfort zone tells you this is how it should be. It should be. You should be upset. Your car is gone. That's one of my famous jokes. No, not necessarily have to be upset. You can be content with it and ask yourself, okay, car is gone. Let's see what we can do here. Very simple. And then you do what you have to do. This is the world in some ways, or the civilization in some ways, have things set for things like that. It's really no need to be upset about almost anything. Car accidents, someone hit my car a couple times, and we ended up having a wonderful conversation. The person said, I never had an accident where it was my fault, and the person was friendly with me. And I said to them, and yes, unfortunately, there are not many human beings who can, who have or has stepped out of their comfort zone, learning a different way of being. Most human beings are just tied up with the cultural and conventional way of doing things. Upset, anxiety, frustration, it's very shaky. There's no holding the frequency of ease. There's not much of that. And so I thought I'd share a little bit of this with us. I'm sure there's probably a few of you who haven't stepped out of your comfort zone completely. Although if you watch these videos, it's probably a step towards stepping out of your comfort zone already. Especially the pauses. Because for those pauses, you have to at least, if you don't know, then it's uncomfortable. But you have to at least, during those pauses, know to shift your attention to your breathing, to hold the frequency of presence and ease. Not waiting for the next thing I'm going to say. Just being at ease. Thank you.